Friends in need. An amalgam of disparate elements will not be a viable national alternative to the BJP. Talk of any political realignment is unseasonal, considering the fact that the next general election is due only in 2024 and the BJP is entrenched in the government. A gathering of political leaders, activists, and scholars convened by Trinamool Congress leader Yashwant Sinha on Tuesday, however, was preceded by a lot of speculation about the emergence of a third front opposed to the BJP and sidelining the Congress. The Rashtra Manch is not intended to be a third front according to its organizers, but that doesn't mean the end of an exploratory politics ahead of 2024. In fact, most parties have reasons to think and act towards a new alternative to the BJP. For one, serial governance failures and missteps have made the current moment the most vulnerable for the BJP since 2014. The Congress does challenge the BJP at an ideational level, but the electoral victories over it in recent months were by regional parties such as the TMC, the DMK, and the left. While Rahul Gandhi has a principled position against the BJP, his vacillating role within the party and reluctance to play the power politics make the Congress an uninspiring leader for other anti-BJP parties. The role being played by Nationalist Congress Party chief Sharad Pawar makes the current attempt for a new platform vigorous. He has the dexterity, heft, and the network to lead it. That said, there is not an easy path for this nascent platform, assuming that it has ambitions beyond being a debating society. At 80, age is not on Mr. Power's side. Without an active role for the Congress, no political formation can be viable against the BJP. That role and the terms of engagement between the Congress and the other smaller parties remain open questions. Even among the parties that participated in the meeting, SP, NCP, AAP, CPI, CPIM, National Conference, Trinamool Congress enthusiasm is muted. Though they sent representatives, Mr. Power himself is conscious of the pitfalls. Several of these parties are adversaries of one another in states. All non-BJP parties are not opening up to the idea, at least for now. The TRS, YSRCP and BJD in power in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha respectively have a guarded approach towards national politics. All these factors make the emergence of a robust opposition to the BJP onerous. Politics is often shaped by circumstances. The BJP's unchallenged power in the last 7 years has built tensions that need to be resolved through democratic processes. The recent assembly election outcomes were a reminder that parties staunchly opposed to the BJP remain popular in states. Harnessing a national politics from such disparate trends is a challenge before the opponents of the BJP. Engage Iran. Blocking of Iran-linked websites does little for efforts to revive end-deal and reverse sanctions. The US decision to block dozens of Iran-linked websites at a time when both countries are trying to revive the nuclear deal is unnecessary provocation. The US has accused the sites, including Iran's state-owned Press TV, of spreading disinformation. In the past, the US had cracked down on Chinese and Iranian media over similar allegations. The move comes days after Iran elected Ebrahim Raisi, a hardline cleric, as president. The election of Mr. Raisi, who has been sanctioned by the US for his alleged role in the execution of political prisoners and other rights violations, has already escalated tensions between the two countries. Iran's short response to the move on the websites has been that the US was trying to muzzle free speech. Even if one ignores Iran's rhetoric, the US move hardly serves its declared purpose of fighting disinformation. When America seized the website of the semi-official Iranian news agency FAS in 2018, it switched to an Iranian domain and was back online. The US should not act like despotic regimes that take knee-jerk actions towards media platforms with critical coverage. The way to fight disinformation campaigns is to promote information and strengthen independent journalism. Besides aiding the Iranian narrative that America remains hostile, the US decision could also create hitches in the diplomatic process underway. The Biden administration had hoped for reaching an agreement with Tehran over reviving the nuclear deal before the June 18 Iran presidential election. After multiple rounds of indirect talks in Vienna along with other world powers, a final agreement has not been reached, but all parties have expressed faith in talks. The Biden administration had shown a willingness to reverse Donald Trump's maximum pressure policy and revive the deal that would cut off Iran's path towards the bomb in return for lifting sanctions. Iran, embattled by sanctions, economic woes, and protest, has responded positively to the US overtures. But there have been bottlenecks. One, when the Trump administration pulled the US out of the nuclear deal and reimposed sanctions, Iran started rebuilding its nuclear program with higher level fuel enrichment and production of centrifuges. Now the US wants Iran to return to the terms of the original agreement, while the Iranians want the sanctions lifted first. 2. The Biden administration also wants to discuss Iran's ballistic missile program and its regional activities. Mr. Raisi has rejected such demands outright. Known for his hardline domestic and foreign policy views, he would take over the presidency in early August. Mr. Biden's best chance to revive the nuclear deal is to do it before then. Both sides should focus on the diplomatic path aimed at achieving a programmatic agreement first that addresses the most critical issues: Iran's expanding nuclear program and America's sprawling sanctions regime.